Oh, dope. It's already, like, ready to go. That's cool.
What do you mean?
The 2 things. Everything is good.
Yes, everything's going to be great this time.
Everything is great.
This time.
This time, yeah.
This time around is going to be fine. We're not going to fuck it up.
I mean, we might still fuck it up, but it's fine.
This allows for more
wiggle room.
Wiggle room to fuck up.
Yeah.
Instead of you being too quiet and me being too fine.
Right.
And then we can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Because I dumb brained it.
I don't even know if you dumb brained it.
I think what happened is so for the listeners, we technically kind of already recorded this episode, but we fucked up. So we have our mic set up that we're borrowing from Blake the Snake. Yeah. Bless him. He's such a great human being. So he's got us set up with these really nice mics, and the mics plug into a
box, magic box.
I think he called it an XLR. I think that's what it's called. I'm not very good with audio tech. That's not my forte. And it has like a gain adjuster on it and everything. I think what happened, why it fucked up, is because when I went to go listen to the audio recording on the computer, I unplugged the mics from the box.
Correct.
But when I did that, I hit the knob.
Oh, no.
Because I did that the other day when I was trying to figure out something else.
Okay.
On my own.
That makes more sense.
Right. So I think that's what happened, is that I knocked the knob after I was like, this is great. Let's record, instead of actually looking at the knobs again.
I mean, that makes sense, though. It could definitely be what it was. Because, I mean, those things move very smoothly.
Very easily, yes. So I checked them before we started. They're both on the same
setting.
Now I'm getting fucking paranoid.
Okay.
Now I'm getting paranoid.
It's fine, right?
What?
It's all fine?
No.
Okay, I was about to say.
Actually, what? Okay, wait.
Okay. Maybe.
How does there's a fucking ghost in this room. This was dead ass even, and now yours
is low?
Is
it low again? Because on the recording equipment, it looks like my voice is making less waveforms than yours. I don't know if that's just because I'm so far away.
Well, now we're equal.
Okay. It looks a little better now.
But you know what's fun? You know what's great?
What?
Is the fact that I have us set up on 2 different channels now. I can just fix that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's we double made sure that we're good now.
Now.
Double. No more fucking trouble.
no more recording episodes twice. Oh my God.
Yeah, so here we are. This is our technical
round 2.
Yeah.
But we put this was supposed to be episode 7, but we were like, nope. No. We don't want to.
We need like a week to forget everything.
And then just let the pain of we sat here for 3 hours.
Yeah. Because it was a good long one too. So it's here we are. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun and exciting and new and different. Some of the same, but it's okay. It'll be new for you guys.
Except for that movie was not fun and exciting.
No. I pitched it a lot nicer.
You did, because that was our opening for that episode. Yeah. And you were like, you hyped it up more than what it actually was.
Correct. Because, like, when you're sitting in a silent room with, like, noise-canceling headphones in and you're watching it, it allows the dread to, like, creep in a lot better than, like, people talking.
Wait, so what was the name of the movie?
It's called Dreams by Akira Kurosawa.
Okay.
And it was filmed in 1990, so, of course, the special effects are 90s, but, like, if you're by yourself, or you watch movies with people that don't fucking talk, but it's me and I talk, so here we are. If you're by yourself, it's scary, but if you're in a room full of people, it's not.
Yeah, it was. So. I think I could see that the Japanese music could be a little much with headphones on.
Yes,
because it was just, I don't know. I think it was just grating on my mental. Tank of just hearing it over and over and over again. I'm like, oh my God, which is funny because because you hyped it up to be more like, I could see where you were coming from.
Oh, certainly.
Of like the whole, like the kid had to kill himself because
he saw the foxes
getting married, which was fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then what was the next one? Oh, the soldier.
Yes.
That one was like, even though it was the 90s and like the commander having to tell his soldiers that like they're dead, like go back, like I'm sorry, like I want to join you in death for a valiant thing, but
yeah, that one got me.
That one got me too. But
and you didn't get to see I think the next one after that one was going to be
the nuclear fallout one.
Yes. Yeah. That one fucked me up good. That one was scary. I think it's Mount Fuji in Red is what it was called. Was the dream. Because the way the movie set up, it's just a bunch of different dreams. and like all in a line.
It's like an artistical piece almost.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's a very artistically done movie. And I mean, it's good.
It's good, but when you have somebody who's like really hella impatient and then somebody with ADHD, me and Kevin were like, oh my God, like we cannot sit here and watch the same dance for 5, because that's what it was. It was like almost like he purposefully played the same motions and sounds over and over, like the same scene for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's apparently that's art.
Which realistically, it wasn't 10 minutes. It was
probably 2.
Each dream takes about 8 total. But it feels like
forever.
Yeah, like in the film class that I'm in, which is why I ended up watching it, we were talking about in that particular week how directors can bend your perception of reality and perception of time. So that was a great example.
Yep. Yeah, because it felt like we were sitting there for 30 minutes watching it over and over and over. And I'm like, what the fuck are we watching?
Yeah, but realistically, each one is like 8 to 10 minutes, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, fun fact.
Fun fact.
It's a good movie. If you guys ever have like an hour and a half to kill, watch it.
It's not bad, like, if you, like, watched a dream and then took a break and then watched a dream and took a break. But we had already watched Get Out.
Yes. And then we tried to watch Dreams
there afterwards. And it was like, we were all like, nope, tapping out, we're done.
And I mean, to be fair, it was almost like 11 o'clock. So, at night.
It was like 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm old. I get tired at like 9. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
But you know what else is fine?
Tell me all about it.
Spooky stories.
Can't confirm.
Can great.
Yeah. Okay. This is my bread and butter, as it turns out. So, spooky stories.
I mean, it's not making us bread yet, but
it can be the butter. I feel like butter is more expensive than bread right now, so we should really like switch those. It's my bread.
There's no way butter's more expensive. Well, I buy Kerrygold. Yeah. Which is like $4 a pad.
Well, I mean, even then, getting like a regular, like, shitty Walmart 4-stick thing of butter is like $2.80, I want to say, and bread's like $1, right? Probably. I don't buy bread. I don't know.
I don't eat. Well, I do. I take that back. I eat a slice of bread before I wait. So,
cool.
Do you want to flip a coin?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
And then kind of how we had that order already.
Yeah, that works for me. Because the first time we did it, we flipped the coin and Katie went first.
I went first.
So I'm content with just keeping that.
Let's hold true to that because yours is spookier and I want to end on a spookier note. Mine's like baby's first bullshit. And
baby's first bullshit.
I hate when I like put in all this like history research and then it's like this one spot. It's like,
Yep. No, I feel that.
I want deeply feel to cry. Like, I want to feel the existential dread.
Yes.
Damn it.
It's okay.
Not. Yeah. The chair rocked. Okay.
I mean, that's pretty scary if you're like in a room by yourself and you see the chair start rocking.
That chair would be on fire.
It's just, I found my wood.
I thought there's a big like lazy boy. It's not lazy boy, but like the equivalent of a chair in our living room. My fear is that it's going to start rocking, and I thought it did, and I was like, no, dumbass, you just got out of the chair. Like,
oh my God.
I was having a time, or I was drunk. I don't remember.
Either way, you were having a time.
It was a whole thing.
Okay, so insert coin flip here.
I'll do the noise.
Okay.
I'm going to do the noise.
Sure.
I'll pick heads, because I usually...
Well, the coin hit the floor. We're going to assume that it
knocked that off.
I don't know.
It landed on tails. I'm going first. Look at that. Okay.
Cool.
That's not how that works. Okay.
That's not how that works, but it's fine. No. Tell me your story this week, Katie.
So Katie.
Yes.
That's me.
It is.
The person talking.
Is it?
Katie,
okay, great.
I'm talking to first person. I'm going to be discussing today a Hotel Monte Vista, Flagstaff, Arizona.
Ooh.
For the second time. Okay. No mistakes. Okay, it's recording. All right, we're good. I'm like paranoid as shit. I don't want to do this a third time. These topics are going to get just thrown out.
I mean, that's fair. Or wait 6 months, either way.
Just wait, never. So this hotel is found in Arizona, Flagstaff.
Okay.
Along Route 66.
Ooh.
So they already got that little spooky. Ooh.
See, the one time eventually maybe that we take a road trip, we're going to drive down that road and stay at the Hotel Monte Vista for fun.
We'll talk about it.
You
I don't
always say that. You always say that.
I literally always say that. It's like, oh, I talk a big game, but we're not. Hell no. So in the mid-1920s, tourism was on the rise in Flagstaff. So they needed more accommodations for the tourism. Obviously, people coming in.
Yeah.
You gotta get that hype. You gotta
You can't just say, "Hey, stay in my house."
You can't stay in this little like rundown motel. You gotta.
I got a barn. You can't really do that.
Yeah, you gotta bring in the money. So you gotta put up the money to bring in the money. So, in June 8th of 1926, about $200,000 was raised to begin the construction of the hotel.
Oh wow!
Which is interesting enough because the $200,000 in 1926. That's a lot. I did not do the conversion again. So
that's okay. That's a very large amount of money.
It's monies.
I imagine.
It's probably a couple million.
Yeah.
Nowadays. Easy. So that money was actually raised by the citizens of Flagstaff.
Oh wow.
It was not government funded.
I forgot that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So the hotel has, still to this day, was constructed with 73 hotel rooms and also incorporated a post office, the Monte V cocktail lounge, and the local newspaper company at the time.
Okay, so like every time I think of a hotel, I hear they have like a bar or like a cocktail lounge or whatever, I'm like, I imagine something separated from the actual like hotel itself, like slightly adjacent. And
no.
It's a sketchy place in my brain. Like the whole first floor.
Have you never been in a hotel where there's a bar?
I have. But like I only think of the one here that like it's adjacent from where all the rooms are and it's sketchy.
Right, because this is
a sketchy place. So
yeah, we're not in like Nashville.
That's true.
We're in a tiny town. Yeah. Tiny city, actually.
Yeah. Itty bitty city.
Itty bitty city committee. So on New Year's Day of 1927, the hotel opened, which was originally named Community Hotel because everyone raised money for it. But this part this fucking nerd kid, a 12-year-old boy won the naming contest for the hotel, and the hotel was named Monte Vista because apparently a 12-year-old boy picked Monte Vista.
I think his parents picked it.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Because Bodie McBoatface.
No, it's Trainee McTrainface in Sweden.
Two.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there was also a Bodie McBoatface.
Oh, okay. Because Trainee McTrainface. Hotel face. So, obviously, because it's the 1920s and there's a lounge and a hotel, people would gather around and smoke and eat and drink in the lounge. So they'd be like, meet me at the Monte V, and it was the cocktail lounge.
Cute.
Yeah. So, of course, during that time period, quarrels would break out. It was, fights and all kinds of fun stuff would happen at the cocktail lounge.
Really stupid, and when you said quarrels, I was like...
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay, I was like, oh god.
No, you said it correct, but my brain was like, but they're in the middle of a desert. How could there be coral reefs? Because I'm an idiot.
So...
Okay, proceed.
In the late 1960s, the hotel was sold to a private investor.
Okay, and it was public before that, yeah?
Yeah, so I guess it was... wasn't government funded, but it was still public.
Well, I mean, it could have been like city government funded.
Maybe.
Not like federal.
Federal.
Yeah.
Maybe. But they made it a point to say that people of Flagstaff funded it. So it was sold to a private person after that point.
Okay.
So, fun fact, historical resident Mary, Costigan was the second woman in the world to be granted a radio broadcasting license in 1927.
That's cool.
I think if I remember the story correct, her brother ran the radio, but he got sick and couldn't do it anymore. So she had to take over.
I mean, still, for like the 20s, that's very progressive.
That's very progressive. A woman. Oh my God. So in 1929, she actually moved into the hotel, into one of the rooms.
Oh.
I didn't get what room it was, but she ran a radio station called KFXY. Okay. And it ran 3 hours a day. So people would actually come to watch her host the radio show.
That's wild.
Well, yeah.
That's kind of cool, though.
So that was actually pretty cool. So I was like, I wanted to include that because it's actually pretty neat.
Yeah.
So another fun fact, but doesn't actually relate to the actual hotel itself, but there's underground tunnels that exist underneath Flagstaff.
That's crazy.
Why are there tunnels everywhere? So Monte Vista has access to these tunnels, but none of the ghost stories really relate to the tunnels.
I wonder if the tunnels themselves have some, like, spooky, scary shit.
Probably. The fucking tunnels underneath the city. Yeah. Probably. So in the early 1990s, 1900s, a large fire burnt down most of Flagstaff.
Damn.
Where, unfortunately, the Chinese migrants were blamed for the fire. Something about their cooking is the reason why it started the fire.
That's stupid.
So
maybe it was your kitchen safety.
Or maybe it was just, it's the fucking 1900s.
Everything burned in the 1900s.
Everything burns in the 1900s. So, so it's rumored that the Chinese people would use these underground tunnels to get around Flagstaff without being harassed by the locals.
Safely.
But, of course, with tunnels and not being open to the public eye, you do things that you don't want the public eye to see. So other activities went down in the tunnels.
Bad things, I'm sure.
Opium dens, moonshine distilleries, and gambling machines were found in tunnels.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So
All of those are bad things.
Yes. So that's it's just actually a short history of the hotel. So it's not nothing too crazy. Nothing crazy. No, I take that back. Something crazy did happen. I lied.
Oh,
I lied. So sorry. So the hauntings.
Yes.
So your
I believe in you.
Fuck. I'm having
stereotypical?
Yeah, stereotypical. Yeah. I was like, stereo is not the right word. I'm having a stroke.
No, you're fine.
Woo! The burbs are chirping. The chirps are burping.
Yeah, I was about to say your face is still symmetrical, so you're not stroking out. We're
okay,
good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, God. I was like, what is a face being symmetrical? Oops.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So, your stereotypical hauntings. Making noises, moving furniture. Making the full body apparitions can be seen in the hotel. The telephone in the main lobby will ring and there's no one there. It didn't even say if it was hooked up or not. It probably. I don't like that. There's a lot of phones that will ring that aren't hooked up, so I hate that. And then objects all over the hotel will just get knocked over. So
that's rude. Is there some sort of like demon fucking cat there? Just knocking shit over?
Probably. Freaking cats. So the first story, in the 1970s, 3 men robbed the Flagstaff Bank, where one bandit was shot during the getaway.
Oh, super rude.
The 3 men ventured to the lounge right after that, after getting shot.
Okay.
To Monte V's cocktail lounge to celebrate their success of the robbery.
That's ballsy. I just robbed the bank 2 streets over.
2 streets.
Don't worry about it.
Yep. So the wound of the shot bandit was more serious. So that bandit died in the lounge having his drink.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm bleeding. Let me drink this thing that'll thin my blood.
Yeah. So the ghost of the deceased bandit is still experienced in the lounge. One of the managers reported usually hears a hello or good morning when they come into the bar and open it in the mornings.
At least he's polite.
And I know, which is really weird, a polite bandit. And a ghostly presence has been seen in the lounge. So people usually equate this to being the gunman of the 1970s.
I mean, probably the grumpy. I mean, like, I would be mad if I just, like, gotten a whole bunch of money and then
died.
Yeah. I'd be very upset.
It's how it be sometimes, you know?
It really is. It really do be like that sometimes.
It really do be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast where we quote TikToks.
Correct. That's all we do for an hour and a half.
And then Blake's in the background screaming, "What are you talking about? A TikTok." Duh. If you don't know it, it's probably a TikTok. Okay. So in room 210, guests in this room have been awakened by a spirit bellboy that knocks on the door and says room service.
Okay, does he actually have room service?
No, he's a ghost.
Well, that's dumb. Like, if he's gonna wake me up, at least feed me. You know what I mean?
Is that your criteria?
Yeah, if you're gonna wake me up, like, at least have, like, a 4-course meal set out for me.
Oh, so 4-course?
If I'm, like, scared, I can just eat my feelings.
I'll give you rice and chicken.
I mean, that's fine, too.
Oh, my God. So, when guests open the door, usually there's no one at the door, though John Wayne stayed at this hotel during the era of recording Western movies.
Yeah.
And he reported that when he opened the door, the bellboy was still there.
Okay.
Though he said that he did not feel threatened or scared by the spirit. He was like, "Oh, it's just a little bellboy spirit.
Oh, it's just a sweet little bellboy,
baby." The housekeepers of the hotel also see the bellboy moving throughout the halls, and they say that he has... shit. I never wrote down the notes because I was supposed to remember it. Red a red jacket with brass buttons and blue pants.
Okay.
Or reverse the colors. Maybe it was a...
No, I mean, like, the red sounds red to me. Because whenever I think of bellboy, that's what I think of.
That's what you think of.
Yeah. And, like, the red, like, it's not like a fez, but it's like a little red, like, pill bot. Is that what it's called? Pill hat? I don't know. I think that's what they're called.
Candy stripe? The little...
No, it's just, like, red on top. Pillbox hat, I think is what it is.
Well, you said that. Mm-hmm. So probably.
Yeah, that's
I
what
have no idea. I don't do hats.
That's fair.
So I'll take your word for it. But guests that have animals are usually not given this room.
Okay.
Because dogs freak out.
Oh, yeah, apparently. No, I would, if I can imagine the dog would bark very loudly.
Of something that's not there. Yeah, so. In room 220 now, a long-term guest was living in this room, and his name was coined Meat Man.
I hate that. I don't like it. I don't know what it means, I don't like it.
Well, I'll tell you what it means. He would hang meat from the chandelier in the room. And did not say, like, if it was a full body pig or, like, strips of meat. It just said, everywhere I looked, meat was hung from the chandelier. Why? I don't know. It also did not say if he was selling meat on the side. It did not say if he ate the meat. It did not say if he just hung it up for decoration. Just meat from the chandelier in the hotel room.
Did he, like, I wonder if he, like, threw it over the, like, metal of the chandelier or if he had, like, hooks on the chandelier?
No detail. Meat
from
the chandelier. He later died in this room, and his body was not discovered until 3 days later. Guests who stay in this room report hearing coughing and other noises from the room, so just a high activity area. Also, the TV acts on its own.
No.
And guests have reported being touched by large, cold hands.
Why are they large?
It's a man.
Why are they cold?
Meat.
Why does he cough?
Also meat.
I don't like it.
I can't imagine the room is sanitary with having meat hanging from the chandelier.
Yeah, no. Oh, he probably got very ill.
And he also probably, died from whatever. He died in the room, so he probably got sick.
That's That's probably why he coughs, actually, because he was sick. That makes sense.
Probably, yeah. So, gross. A story actually originates from this room. Mm-hmm. A maintenance man who was repairing the room had turned the lights off and locked the door after leaving and left to go get something to do work on the room because he's a maintenance guy. Mm-hmm. When he returned 5 minutes later, the light was on, the bed sheets were stripped and thrown everywhere, and the TV was on full blast.
How rude.
That's why the TV moves on its own, or does its own thing.
I don't like that.
The ghost. It's the meat man.
I really don't like that, because you could wake up in the middle of the night to, like, the really loud, staticky, spooky noise. Like,
oh, God.
That sets my teeth on edge.
Yep. So, in a different room, room 306, 2 prostitutes were brought to the room and were murdered and thrown out the window into the street below. Yeah, I hate that. That makes me so sad. This happened in the 1940s, so they were killed, tossed out the window, and it never said if the guy was found or who did it, so that's just... Well,
I hope he tripped down the stairs and hurt himself for being
very badly.
The worst.
So guests report, whenever guests stay in this room, they report feeling watched, and they will actually wake up in the middle of the night being like, I'm being watched and can't go back to sleep, because they just constantly have that feeling, and it's so strong.
I don't like that.
Male guests report having hands placed on their mouths and throat and waking up unable to breathe.
What the fuck?
2 painted ladies are also reported seen in the pool hall of the lounge.
Okay. Do they think it's like the same women?
They think it's the same women.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Because it was sex workers that were thrown out the window, and then painted ladies is also
another term for
sex workers. So,
huh.
Seen kind of, so they just equate the two, and maybe that's who it is. So, they're seen in that room is.
I wonder if they just like hang out with that one fellow that died.
The gunman?
Yeah.
Probably
all hang out and drink together. That wouldn't be such a bad eternity.
Get lit. For you, I guess. So, in room... In room 305, a long-term guest used to sit in a rocking chair by the window. Okay. I guess she died there. It didn't really say. I mean, probably. So, a ghost of a female apparition is seen sitting in the rocking chair. It is the most active room of the hotel because the woman is so often seen in the chair rocking, or the chair itself is just constantly rocking.
Oh, I hate it.
If the chair is moved, the chair will always move its way back to the window. Always. Like, housekeeping will move the chair and then...
To, like, clean.
And then
forget it.
And then
she's just like, son of a bitch, I gotta move my little chair back over to the window.
Weirdly enough, knocks are also heard from inside of the closet.
I don't like that.
You don't want some scratching?
No, I don't want scratching. I don't want knocking. Listen to the sultry sounds of nails on plastic.
Plastic. This little plastic table we got.
I don't. Why?
This one's a rougher one.
What did she have in the closet?
I don't know.
Who did she have in the closet? She wasn't a nice old lady if something's banging from the inside of the closet.
Go ask her.
I can't. You won't let me. You won't go with me.
Bob's like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, no. We'll talk about it.
Oh, you're right.
So okay. So the worst thing I find of this hotel is that there are cries of an infant child from the basement.
I don't like that at all.
So constantly, like in the basement of hotels, there's like maintenance, and then housekeeping will do laundry down there and all that. Like it's stationed in the basement. Right. So there's constant reports of a baby crying from the basement.
No.
And the laundry staff, there we go. So maintenance and the laundry staff hear the sounds so often while working in the basement that it disturbs them so much that staff usually run out of the basement.
I mean, to be fair, if I heard it once, I'd be like, I don't think I need this job that bad. I'm gonna go get a priest.
Get a priest, please. Yeah. So there's no explanation as to why there's a baby in the basement. It's just there's no like reported baby dying or what other stuff have you. So just there's just the baby crying in the basement, and it's unfortunate. So no idea why. But to end on a higher note, a dancing couple is usually seen in the cocktail lounge.
Aww.
Staff and patrons witness the dancing couple, and they are often seen wearing formal attire and heard laughing.
Well, hopefully that's like a cute haunting.
Yeah, that's more of a cute, like it's just apparitions dancing, which is super cool, and I'm glad to hear, because I'm always so sick of like, oh yeah, there's this demon that climbs on the fucking wall. It's like, can we not have a happy ghost? Like, damn.
Like some sort of like, because I know there's a theory that like, I don't know what it's called, and I'll have to do some Google and put it on the social media if I remember, figure it out. But there's like a theory that strong emotions attach things to places, which is why more often than not hauntings are negative. Just
because it's the strong, because I believe in that too. That the constant experiences over and over and over again leave impressions on the environment, and then strong emotions, which usually, unfortunately, sometimes tends to be negative, gets imprinted on the environment. So it's just on a constant loop. Yeah. In the
wherever it's at.
In the
ether.
I want to use a computer term. I forget what the computer term is.
I'm sure Blake will remind us.
Fuck. There's a word. It's going to come to me later in this podcast, and I'm going to scream it.
That's fine.
So we'll just in the simulation. There we go. Bam. We I knew it was an S.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, but that's what I think of, and maybe that couple, it was just such a happy time that it solidified them there.
And maybe they also came often and danced often.
Aww.
Too, so.
Okay, that's cute too. Because repeated happy overtime. That's sweet.
That's fine.
I like that a lot. That's what I'm gonna imagine when I think of the Monte V now. Is the happy thing, not the grandma that I'm concerned is a murderer.
Or the baby crying in the basement.
Yeah.
Or the meat man.
Yeah. Who is the meat man? Why?
Look up the death records. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to, because why? Why? What? Why would they let him do that? Is the next?
They probably didn't know. They probably didn't know. I mean, you can tell hotel staff to not come up to your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in the 20s. I don't think anybody was like, I'm gonna come get you out of bed and kick you out of the room.
No.
Because everyone had a gun. So, I mean.
Okay. All right.
Here we are.
So.
All right. So that was a nice ending.
Yes.
And now I'm going to ruin it.
Before that.
Right.
We have one announcement.
We do.
So we had one Patreon. This is fucking okay. We had one Patreon member.
Yes.
Sir Isaac Charles Wiener.
Yes.
AKA Icy Wiener.
Yeah.
He is a friend of ours.
Yes.
And when I told him that we announced him, he was like, can you actually say who I am on the podcast?
My name?
Yes. So his name is Kevin, and he is our friend. We hang out with him, and he is great.
He's a great human being.
He supported us.
Yeah.
And he wanted to he uses that account to prank his other sister who does a podcast, which is hilarious.
Really funny,
and his sister still doesn't know, and it's been like 3 years.
Which is so funny because I guessed it like
immediately.
Yeah, as soon as you were like, hey, like I got the email, and I was like, Kevin. Like,
Kevin, yes.
Like, I screamed that in my car.
Yes. So his name is Kevin, and he believes in us, and that's super awesome. So thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.
So we'll give you that shout out.
Woo.
So there you go.
Okay.
Okay. Don't ever say I did nothing for you.
Yeah, you did at least one thing.
You dick. Oh
I can't stop it.
Can't stop
what
it is. Okay, Zoe, tell me what your...
So now I'm gonna bring the whole thing down. You're welcome. Sorry, everyone.
I remember not liking your topic.
Correct.
At fucking all.
Correct. And it's a little bit chilly in your house, so I have my feet tucked up under me for safety because I'm a little anxious to talk about it again.
There's a blanket behind you.
Oh, I might have
There's
to
also
use the
4
blanket.
pillows around you.
That is true. So I'm at least cocooned in the safety of this couch.
Okay.
All right, so this week I'm going to be talking about the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in Weston, West Virginia.
I just hate the name, Trans-Allegheny.
Correct. I don't know where they came up with that name. So the original plans for, I don't even think I said this last time, so this is new to you, but the original plans for the building, it was called the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Then it was changed to the Weston Hospital. Weston State Hospital.
I love how I said I don't like the Trans-Allegheny and totally glossed over the fact that lunatic is in the fucking name.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I'm a little slow.
You're fine.
Because I also work out in the mornings and I'm a little dumb afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, you're a little sleepy. It's fine.
Yeah.
So they actually used that name, the Weston State Hospital, throughout its entire life. And the current owner changed the name back when he purchased the property because it sounds scarier than Weston State Hospital.
He is not wrong.
No, it's a pretty terrifying name for a pretty terrifying place. So
tell me how it's terrifying. Oh, tell me the history before we get terrifying.
First off, let's dive into a little history, boys and girls. So
and pals.
And pals. All y'alls.
Yuns.
I'm glad I'm getting you to sometimes say that. You're welcome. So it is actually the largest hand-cut stone masonry building in North America and is the second largest in the world.
Dope.
Next to the Kremlin in Russia.
Dope.
Yes. And it was called the Weston State Hospital when it opened. In 1990, it became a historic landmark. So it's always going to be around. And it's actually a really pretty building.
30 years ago. Yes, you showed me pictures. It is actually very big and very pretty.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's
on the outside.
Gorgeous. Outside.
Not on the inside.
No, I think there's still like lead paint, actually.
Oh.
Because that's why it chips so bad. Because lead paint chips so bad.
Oh.
So, fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah, it comes off in chips. That's why in the late 80s, early 90s, like children would eat the lead paint chips because it chips so easy. Fun fact, everyone, if you're not old enough to remember that, because I am. So, this building is over 24,000 square feet.
Damn.
Is she a big girl? She a big girl. 4 C's. She's 1,300 feet long, and the walls are 2.5 feet thick.
Oh.
So you can't hear anyone scream.
I don't like... You could have just left that out.
Nope.
Okay.
I gotta set the scene, man. It wasn't until the 1770s that asylums were built to actually start housing ill family members. Prior to that, you would just hide them in the attic or in an outhouse or any other awful thing that I'm sure we'll go over someday in a story. It was not,
what?
It was not good.
Okay. Yeah, not until recently, mentally ill people were not treated very well.
Yeah, and in the 1770s, they weren't. It was just a place for them to be that wasn't your house, and you could pretend they didn't exist.
1970s?
1770s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it still wasn't great in the 1970s either. It's not great now.
I just wanted to make sure that we jumped back that far. Okay.
Yeah. It was quite a ways. This hospital was a Kirkbride psychiatric hospital and operated from 1864 to 1994. So quite a long time.
Okay, yeah.
So what Kirkbride means, like being a Kirkbride psychiatric hospital, what that means is that it was a brainchild of Thomas Story Kirkbride, who was a doctor and crusader for the mentally ill. Actually, he founded the American Psychiatric Association. He emphasized the importance of light and fresh air for patients.
Yes.
Just because they had something mentally going on didn't mean that they weren't people.
Right.
Which
not
is
solitary
huge.
Confinement.
Yeah, fuck that. As we learned last week, solitary confinement is not okay.
It's not okay.
So with his focusing on it being fresh air, light, those things are important to people. of all ages, all kinds. Every hallway was 12 foot high.
Damn.
Very open, very airy. Lots of windows, ventilation. He actually was noted for saying those that are afflicted are not disabled from appreciating books or physical comfort.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He was actually a good dude. He and other people like Dorothea Dix were going around to actually try and reform hospitals as well as prisons.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them
to make them bigger, larger, and say that putting people in a fucking black hole,
correct,
where a potential demon can strangle you and murder you,
is
actually not supposed to.
Nobody should die in their hospital room from a demon. Okay, that's not a thing. So the man that was responsible for bringing the Kirkbride model to fruition was Richard Snowden Andrews. So Mr. Andrews intentionally created long, rambling wings arranged in a staggered formation, which would assure light being able to come in through the windows in every wing.
Okay, so just bright and airy. Yeah. Literally bright and airy. Okay.
Yes. That was their whole intention in the construction.
Cool.
Construction was actually halted at one point when the Civil War broke out. Prior to the Civil War breaking out, it was being built by prison laborers, just the general foundation was, and then the stonemasons were flown in from other countries. Like, skilled stonemasons were flown in.
Damn, okay.
This bitch pricey.
Okay.
When the Civil War broke out, obviously, construction was halted because West Virginia...
Mountain Mama... Take me home.
Country roads. So, of course, West Virginia was right in the middle of the Civil War.
Yeah.
So, it was actually used as a hospital during that time frame. The bottom floor, which was the only fully finished floor at the time period. And then the hospital was opened in 1864 to patients. It wasn't even completed.
Oh, Jesus. Mm-hmm. What?
So... that opening, it was only for 250 single patient rooms is what they had while they were constructing the rest of it.
Okay.
Construction continued for another 20 years.
While there's 250 patients minimum in that.
Correct.
Man, because nothing makes me feel better than hearing the constant pounding and grinding of fucking rocks all the time.
Oh, correct. Yeah, no, that sounds so fun. I can't even imagine.
That sounds so soothing and great to my mental health.
Totally. That would not set my teeth on edge at all. That'd be the best.
Your teeth?
Have you never heard that? Set your teeth on edge?
I mean, you say it, and I just let it go because I figured it's a Southern idiom thing.
I mean, I don't know. I assumed it was something everybody knew, but it might be a Southern idiom. I don't know.
Probably if it's coming from you.
I guess so. Here we are. But no, it's that feeling when...
Well, I just say it makes my teeth hurt.
Like, yes, that.
Like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. Yeah, sets your teeth on edge.
Okay.
So the hospital was intended to be fully self-sufficient, so they wouldn't have to buy groceries, stuff like that. It was intended to have it had a farm, it had a dairy, it had like a full working water system.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it even had a cemetery for when people wouldn't make it, because during that time period, people would drop off their mentally ill loved ones and never acknowledge. So
people they would shit.
Correct. They would get notices when their family members died, but nobody would show up.
Claim them.
Oh. Right. Which is why the cemetery was there, because at least the people who knew them would be able to bury them in a respectful way. So it sucks, but it is what it is. So all told, the grounds were 666 acres.
It's pretty big.
Mm-hmm. That's very large.
That's a lot. That's a lot of land.
That's a big land plot. Patients were given jobs on the lands, like on the premises, property. There we go. Like, they worked in the farm, they helped maintain the dairy, stuff like that, to give them a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, makes sense.
While, as their mental health was getting better, they were able to achieve things, they'd feel better about themselves, feel better in the situation.
Yeah.
Which was cool,
but
right?
Like productive sense of self-worth.
Exactly. Yeah. Seeing the fruits of your labor kind of thing. It also helped reduce the number of paid staff that were required.
That also makes sense.
It's a big-ass spot. You need that. They only had one singular cemetery in the beginning, in the 1860s. It grew into 3 full cemeteries.
Oof.
For over 2,000 people.
Ooh.
Throughout its time period.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was quite a large cemeteries, plural. Patient levels continued to rise until the 1950s, not 1950s, it was overcrowded with 2,600 more patients than it could handle.
That sounds like my high school. Oh, wait, you went to the high school too?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You had a bigger class than I did, though, because you graduated after.
500 of us.
I guess there were around that many for us, too. It was a fuck ton, regardless.
Yeah,
but.
that school was only supposed to hold like 1,000.
Yeah, but just like prisons, they get overcrowded.
2,500 of us.
Yeah. Did you know that prisons and schools are actually built by the same kinds of contractors? Fun fact.
I mean, it feels the fucking same, so
yeah, they're both meant to house a large amount of people. So
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
They both feel like fucking prison.
Yeah. I learned that in high school and was like, this is some bullshit. I was really mad. It was fun. I was like, that's not fair. Oh.
That sounds like you.
Yeah, it does. So in the 1950s, when it had the 2,600 more people than it should have, that was more than 10 times its capacity.
Oh.
Right.
Whoa.
That's a lot. So during this time frame, any quote-unquote non-normal behavior was considered something that you could be put into an asylum for. So I have...
Read me the list.
A list.
Read me the list.
People would even sometimes, like, it was okay for men to drop their wives off because they were misbehaving or they weren't acting right or they're hysterical, any of that bullshit. So... Reasons for admission. This is a real list that we'll post with this week's episode.
Holy shit.
I'll post the shots. Imaginary female trouble.
Oh, God.
Immoral life.
Okay.
Laziness.
No.
Medicine to prevent conception.
Birth. That's called birth. What? Okay.
Yeah, birth control. Menstrual deranged.
Listen. That is my biggest, like, you want to fucking trigger me.
Yep.
Okay, most of our demographic listening to this is women, so, like, every woman hearing
Welcome
this
to the party.
is going to be like, no shit. There's a couple men that listen. If you were bleeding out of a particular spot of your body, and you were having pain so bad, it would put you down, you wouldn't be fucking happy either.
Can confirm.
That makes me so mad.
It's awful.
Okay.
It makes me upset spaghetti.
Oh. Okay. All right, keep going. All right, that's my rant. Go ahead.
Good. My next one is superstition. We'd be fucked. Novel reading. I don't know what kind of novels. If it was
what?
I read Mark Twain, better go to the asylum. I don't know. Overreaction of the mind. Periodical fits. Political excitement. Everybody.
2020. Everyone's in the asylum.
Shit. It feels like that. Political excitement. I read that one. Hard study.
What the fuck does that mean?
Nobody goes to college, apparently. That would explain a lot. Desertion by husband. So if your husband leaves you, your family can check you into an asylum. What the fuck? Yeah.
Okay.
Because that makes sense.
Yep.
Self-abuse. Which is a legitimate one.
That's a legit one.
Right. That's the only one that I read that I'm like, okay, cool. Exposure and quackery.
What?
I don't even know what that means.
Exposure?
And quackery.
And quackery.
Like, as one. Like,
as one.
Yeah, like, that's the reason, like, that someone put on their admittance form was exposure and quackery.
I'm sure quackery probably means something different.
Probably.
Than what it is now.
We'll have to Google machine it sometime.
Okay.
Female disease.
What?
And then my personal...
Female. That's also called period, but okay.
Correct. It's just a bunch of different ways to say menstruation. So this is my personal favorite list because it just makes me kind of laugh a lot.
It's not funny that these people were admitted because of these reasons, but the reasons themselves, aside from these poor people having to be sent to this asylum, is hilarious.
Yeah, like it's so... You have to laugh at it because otherwise
you'll cry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I deal with all problems in my life.
But really.
Seriously, though. Deranged masturbation. Second one, masturbation and syphilis.
Oh! Why does a disease make you have to go to a fucking mental institution? What?
Only if it's with syphilis, though. Or, excuse me, with masturbation, though.
Syphilis does make you go crazy, though, don't it?
I mean, if it infects your brain, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and they didn't have a treatment for syphilis, so here we are.
Okay.
Masturbation and tobacco.
At the same time?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Seduction and disappointment. I know a lot of men that would be in there.
You didn't beat me to the joke.
Got him. Masturbation for 30 years is my personal favorite.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed.
Like, is it like all at once? Like continuous? Or is it like every day? Dear diary, today is
Dear diary,
29
nude masturbation.
Like, I don't understand. So yeah, those are all listed reasons why you would be checked into the asylum. Okay.
Unless the person admitted that they've been masturbating for 30 years. Like, how long have you been masturbating? 30 years.
Right.
Asylum.
Or like, do you think? I'm assuming because I'm assuming it's a woman because I can't imagine any man would get admitted for that and whatever because the time frame. But do you think her husband was like keeping track? Like they'd been married like 30 or 40 years and he's like, wow, it's been going on every day. Like,
I have no idea.
I don't know either. I'm very curious and I have no way to get answers and I'm so upset. But here we are.
Oh my God.
Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, each room was only intended to have one person in it, single occupancy rooms. At this point, by the 1950s, they had 4 or 5 people per room.
Oof.
The hallways were crammed with beds. And it became so bad, beds would actually be doubled up on. So they would have
bunk beds.
No, they would have people sleeping in the same bed in shifts. So, like, you and I would share a bed. I would sleep from 6 to 12, and then you would get the bed from 12 to 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yes.
I was like, bunk beds. No.
No, worse. Much worse. So, by that point, the farm and dairy that were supposed to feed all of the patients and staff, which would total about 300 people, because you had like 250 patients plus your 50 staff members.
Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
Self-sufficient, feed everybody. They're more than 10 times capacity, so they weren't able to keep up. So, patients began to suffer malnutrition and other issues. Here are some of my least favorite historical points. The treatments that were administered at Weston Hospital.
Can we skip it?
Nope.
Damn it.
I had to research it. You gotta know about it. Aversion therapy for homosexuals, starting at the fucking tippy top. So if you guys don't know what that is, basically they would give you small doses of poison and then make you look at porn or suggested homosexual activities to get you to avoid it forever.
Okay. That's nice.
Yep. Chemical castration used for masturbation or sexual assault people. Mm-hmm. Hydrotherapy, which sounds nice.
Which is not what we know as 2020. No.
It was essentially ice baths or getting sprayed with cold water and strapping you to a table naked in a freezing room. And like there's actually pictures of when the hospital was in use of people submerged in just a big clawfoot bathtub full of ice with like a plastic cover over the top of it and just their head sticking out. Like it's fucked. Electroshock therapy, which is awful. Insulin shock therapy was a thing, which
What?
Yeah.
What?
So patients would be put into intentionally induced insulin comas. So, you know, like the thing that diabetics have that they die?
What?
They would be put into insulin comas. Why?
What the fuck?
Who the fuck thought that would help? And then the worst, transorbital lobotomies.
No.
Patients would have an ice pick shoved through their eye and into different parts of the brain to relieve your quote-unquote hysteria. These were performed by a gentleman named Walter Freeman, who is actually known as the father of the lobotomy.
Which pisses me off because nothing like a ice pick through your eyeball into your brain makes you not hysterical.
Well, I mean, it does because it destroys that part of your brain, so you can't do it anymore.
Well, I'm saying like the prior, you're being hysterical because you know an ice pick's about to be shoved through your eyeball and fuck your brain.
It just sounds so fun. So fun. So in his lifetime, Freeman performed 4,000 lobotomies. which would, of course, leave sometimes healthy patients
fucked up even more.
Yeah, with lasting physical and cognitive damage. This was also done to the more troublesome patients to try and lower patient levels.
So just try and kill off the patients.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Because that's healthy. So patients would also kill each other.
Oh.
In one instance, I'm going to throw up, 2 patients hung another patient named Dean. They used bed sheets.
Poor Dean.
But when Dean didn't strangle or break his neck after several minutes, they put his head underneath the corner of a metal bed frame and jumped on the bed until he died.
So, like, crushed his head with the bed frame.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm not talking like the like bar. I'm talking like the pointy foot. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So they jumped until the bed frame touched the floor.
Poor Dean.
That one fucks with me. Some patients were kept in isolation for days or weeks at a time because we're still not to the point where we realize that isolation is bad.
Which is upsetting because this whole thing was built to not do isolation. Mm-hmm. And yet here we are.
Yep. Because at that point there were just so many people. They were like, well, we gotta figure it out somehow.
Yeah.
And this is not the worst asylum ever. Like, it's not great, but it's not the absolute worst. There's some other really bad ones. So some patients were kept in isolation. There was one patient who was a former boxer. His injuries rendered him emotionless and sometimes violent because, brain shake enough, certain things are going to get fucked up.
You get hit in the head enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything happens.
Correct. So he got so upset because he was in solitary. He wanted them to let him out, and they wouldn't. He got so upset that he attempted to beat down the metal door in his solitary cell.
And did.
He ripped it clean off the hinges.
Holy shit.
And then left visible dents in other doors. So he just knocked the fucking thing off the hinges and then was like, okay, I'm fine. Because that's all he wanted. He just didn't want to be in solitary anymore, and they wouldn't let him out. So he made them let him out.
Got out.
Yeah. He made it happen. Female patients were often sexually assaulted by other patients or staffs.
Move along.
There was one man, another one. There was one man that was stabbed 17 times and left in the hallway to bleed to death just because all the patients wanted to know what it looked like when someone died.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because now it's getting to the point where there's not enough staff to even watch these people.
Nope. So they're just kind of creating their own things. Just
their own entertainment.
There's even reports of nurses being killed. So even they weren't safe. One nurse went missing for 2 entire months before her body was found in the stairwell.
So her body was found two months later underneath one of the stairwells.
Yes. It took them 2 months to find her.
Oh my God.
Keep in mind, all of the nurses and doctors live there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Where the fuck would she have gone? They lived on the premises.
Apparently underneath the stairwell that no one used. Damn.
Yeah, so that's fun. A report in 1938 by a survey committee organized by a group of North American medical organizations found the hospital housed, quote, epileptics, alcoholics, drug addicts, and non-educatable mental defectives was their, list of things. So It's not just people who are mentally ill, it's people who, well, I guess addiction's still a mental illness, but here we are, this whole list of things, and they don't have them separated in any sort of a healthy way.
Yeah, it's just
thrown in
blanket
together.
Statement, you're mentally ill, and then you're all treated the same, which all of those mental illnesses need different treatments.
Correct. And medications and help, not
lobotomy.
Here's a big building, have fun. Lobotomy for you, no, that's not how we do this.
Okay, Oprah.
Oh, jeez. A series of reports by the Charleston Gazette in 1949 found poor sanitation, insufficient furniture, lighting, and heating in most of the complex, which one wing that had been rebuilt in 1935 after it burned down after a patient started a fire, which...
Because they wanted to see what a building looks like on fire, probably.
Yeah. That one wing was luxurious. All the rest of them were still old and decrepit and not taken care of very well.
Mm-hmm.
The survey reported patients were sleeping on the floor in freezing rooms due to lack of furniture, heat,
blankets, a bed.
Any comfort, really. The once bright and clear windows were now covered in grime, which darkened and chilled the rooms further. The wallpaper was peeling from the decay where patients had either torn it off or just from where they were decaying because they weren't taken care of.
Right, lack of upkeep. There we go.
The orderlies deemed the patients unable to be controlled and had locked them in cages in open spaces in an attempt to make bedrooms available to the less worrisome inhabitants. That expose published by the Gazette spurred a movement to close down the hospital.
But didn't.
No, it did not. Because that was in 1949. They published that. In February 1986.
They finally closed. 40 years later.
Well, they started the process. It didn't close until 94.
Oh my God.
Right. So in 86, the then governor at the time, Arch Moore, announced plans to build a new psychiatric facility elsewhere in the state and convert Weston State Hospital into a prison in 94. Because, both spaces to hold a lot of people.
Right.
They decided against it. And then it was supposed to be turned into a Civil War museum because it did have the history from the Civil War because it was a hospital at that point.
Right.
So they wanted to turn it into a museum. That plan was ruined after the interior was damaged due to 20 off-duty police officers using it to play paintball. They irreplaceably damaged a lot of brickwork on the interior.
With paintballs?
20 of them.
But did that happen, obviously after the patients were moved out? Okay.
Yeah, that was in 94 or 95.
Paintball was around then?
Yes.
No, I'm being serious, actually. Okay.
Yeah. 1994, yeah.
I was born in 1994, that's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair.
Okay.
yes, it was. Only 3 of those officers were fired for ruining important historical property. Just 3 out of the 20. Oh, how things haven't changed. It was then purchased by Joe Jordan in 2007, and he restored it and started having tours, both historical and haunted. When he purchased it, he actually changed the name from Weston State Hospital back to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. So that's where the name comes from again. Cool. Where it resurfaced.
Cool.
So now we're in the hauntings. Finally.
These hauntings are not good, I know it.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Is it?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. It's going to be great. So, these are just some general hauntings, and then we're also going to do, floor by floor, because I thought that would be easier than trying to, bounce around. Because it's a 4-floor hospital.
You don't want to, shotgun blast?
I mean, that's the plan. Oh. Well, maybe. There might be some, other stories in there. We'll see.
Okay.
So, general things that you can hear throughout the entirety of the building. Metal gurneys being pushed around through the hallways.
Oh, it gave me cold chills so bad.
Yes, it begins. You'll see strange lights and orbs, full orbs floating around.
So, you don't see it through the camera.
Yeah, you see with your eyeballs. You'll feel cold spots,
that's
in open rooms. The fuck? Everything should be the same temperature.
Right.
And then you'll just get hit with, a cold spot. And then you can walk 5 feet and it's not cold.
Don't like that.
Yeah. There's shadow people standing in doorways. That's seen a lot, full shadows. They'll be walking down the hallways, and in some cases, crawling around on the floor.
No. Get your fucking quadrupedal bullshit the fuck out of here. I hate that.
Yeah.
No.
So, and it's in some places, it's all 4 crawling, 4-legged crawling, and then other ones, it's that army crawl. Arm over arm, because, Civil War,
zombie
right?
bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, zombie bullshit. That's fine. That's a good way to think about it.
Okay.
So you'll see full-body apparitions everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, the whole place, you can see them. Many people will hear their name being called, or will hear it whispered, when no one on the tour has said their name, and they haven't said their name. So whatever the fuck is there knows who you are. It's got some sort of, omniscience there, which is a little fuckety, and I don't like.
I don't like that.
Right. Some sort of sentience is another word for that. Hysterical laughing is heard from empty rooms. So, you'll hear someone laughing, and then you'll look in, and there's fucking nobody there.
Of course, there's nobody there.
Right. And
there's nobody there.
There's bars on the windows, right? So it's not like somebody, jumped the fuck out the window.
4th floor, here we go.
Woo. There was a doctor in the 90s, prior to the hospital being shut down, that a spirit followed her home from the hospital and still fucks with her today. Still messes with her.
Ma'am?
Yep.
Ma'am. Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah. Worst job she ever took.
Call a priest.
Several, actually. That might be a good idea. Like a slew of them. A pack of priests, as it were. Whew. So the first floor, we're going to start at the bottom because, for fun, it just gets worse as it goes up.
Don't like this.
Is also nicknamed the Civil War Wing because that was the one that was used as a hospital during the Civil War. So the first spirit that is incredibly common, her name is Ruth. She was actually a patient in the hospital. She was very aggressive towards other male patients or male orderlies, nurses, doctors, any dude. She just
male.
get fucked. So she's that same way after death.
Ooh.
If she sees a man walking around on the tour, she'll throw things at him, like rocks.
That's hilarious.
She'll pull on their shirt. Sometimes if she really doesn't like you, she'll pinch you, poke you, or occasionally push you into walls.
Get him.
Some men will also hear from down hallways or rooms that they just passed, stuff like that. They'll hear her hissing at them. I don't like that sound, man.
I don't like that either, but that's kind of hilarious for me.
It's kind of funny. So you'll also see ghost soldiers in full military outfits. You can identify what they're wearing.
Oh, damn.
Run full speed at you.
Excuse me, sir. Could you not?
Please don't ever do that to me. Thanks.
Jesus fuck.
A tour guide that was talking with another employee at night on this floor, all the lights stopped working. She went to go flip the breaker box on and wondered aloud to herself if that had fixed it. And she heard someone behind her say, "Nope."
Get a bow to the face. Oh, man.
I don't like that.
Behind you.
Right behind you say, "Nope." No, that didn't fix it. It was me, bitch. No.
But did it...
It didn't fix it, no.
Fuck you, ghost. I don't like you being right behind me.
Nope, no thank you.
Okay.
You can be right next to me, right?
Or in front of me.
Yeah, because I can see you then.
Yeah,
maybe.
not the fuck behind me. Okay, all right, cool.
So now we're going to go upstairs to the second floor. The man that was stabbed 17 times died on this floor, and you can still hear him screaming. When a tour guide was performing a tour and gesturing into the room where he was originally stabbed before he went out into the hallway, she saw a man leaning over the sink in the room because all the rooms had your full amenities, bathroom, sink, whatever. She saw somebody leaning over the sink and did a double take, and then nobody was there the second time that she looked.
No.
So it's assumed that was the guy washing his knife after he stabbed the dude. So, there were 2 patients who hung themselves from curtain rods in this floor. And you can still sometimes see the shadows of their bodies backlit by the windows in one of those rooms.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, that one gets
That's
me real
rough.
good. I don't like that.
No.
There's been an EVP captured in that room specifically of what we assume one of them yelling, "Get out." So.
Okay. Nope. Cold chills. There we go. Yep.
Floor 3. Let's go upstairs.
Okay.
Dean was killed up here. You can hear him crying no in the room where he was killed, or you can hear him sobbing. In the nurses' quarters on this floor, this is where some of the nurses were housed, doors can be seen shutting softly or heard slamming. So you'll never see it slam. You'll only see it close gently, but you'll hear it slam. So that's cool.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Either. None of that.
There's an apparition of a nurse named Elizabeth who died in the hospital.
Oof.
I don't know if she's the one that was gone for 2 weeks or what. I don't know. But she died in the hospital.
Okay.
She can be seen doing paperwork at the nurses' station or running between rooms she's either making rounds or assisting in surgeries, stuff like that. Some people have reported walking around a corner to see her full-body apparition just nose to nose with you around the corner.
Ugh.
Just staring in your eyes.
That's a fucking scream.
That's a big nope.
That's a big brown pants moment.
Woo! Floor 4. The worst floor, in my personal opinion. There is a solid black shadow mass.
No.
That will slink or glide after you.
No.
Or around you.
Excuse me? After you?
What? Yeah. He's known as the Creeper.
Yeah, you fucking creep. Don't follow me, you slinking...
He doesn't just move around on the floors. He'll move around on the walls, over doors, and the ceiling.
No!
Yeah.
Don't say that. I hate that.
Yeah, that one kind of gets me really bad. I don't like it. Because that does not sound like anything friendly.
If anything fucking follows you, I think the fuck not.
one paranormal investigation group was trying to chase down and follow the creeper.
You fucking stupid.
And when they finally found him, they pulled out their spirit box and asked, "What are you?" And the spirit box went, "Demon."
Yes. You don't have to fucking chase it down to know that.
Right. Banging and clanking on the pipes in the ceiling can also be heard here and are attributed to the creeper as he's like clambering, climbing over him. Don't like that?
We're not going.
Ooh.
Don't even.
I wasn't gonna ask.
Yeah.
The creeper fucks with me too much. I'm not.
You don't want to? You don't want to chase it down?
Hell no.
Excuse me, sir. Can I talk to you about my Lord and Savior?
Woo. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Fine.
There are also isolation cells on the 4th floor, and EVPs have been captured inside of those saying, "Get out," followed by another voice saying, "Calm down."
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah, double up. Okay.
Right, 2 different ghosts, which I'm assuming, just thinking about that logically, I would say the one saying "Get out" is probably "Get me out of here." And the one following it is probably a guard, or not a guard because it's not a prison, but like an orderly
nurse.
being like, yeah, calm down, because that's what you say to somebody when they're upset.
Just dump fucking gasoline on that fire.
Woo! Lily's room is another place.
Who the fuck is a Lily?
So Lily...
Who the fuck is Lily? There we go.
Yeah. So her room is the 4th floor, which doesn't make a lot of sense because the creeper's up there, but they're
one and the same.
So there's this little girl who no one's really sure exactly how she got there. There are stories that she was born in the hospital and died in the hospital. There are other stories that she was abandoned there because she was sick. Nobody really knows.
Okay.
She is the most friendly of all of the ghosts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
and will
so.
Talk to anyone and everyone that she can. She loves to talk to people. That's her favorite thing. She loves to communicate, play with people. Like, just goes at it.
Okay.
She loves the flashlight game, which I know we've talked about before. She loves that game.
Oh my god. You know who doesn't like that game? Me.
Same.
Okay.
I like it more than anything else, but she'll play catch with you as well. You'll like roll a ball. Like her room, I watched videos. Her room is just full of children's toys and balls and like all sorts of stuff. And the way a lot of paranormal investigators, when they go in, they'll go into her room and sit down and just be like, "Hey, Lily, can you roll a ball for me? Can you tap this flashlight?"
Yeah,
like,
you showed me a video and the ball was moving.
Yes.
In frame, no one was around it. And it was moving back and forth.
Not like somebody had pushed it, like somebody was like rolling it themselves back and forth.
No.
So that happens. A lot of people get a lot of footage in there, or like a lot of stories from her. I don't like it. Other people have left her candy in wrappers and like gone off to do an investigation in another place and come back and the candy is unwrapped, which is wild.
That's pretty cool.
So they'll leave one group left an EVP, or excuse me, a digital recorder, which gives you EVPs, if I could words, left a digital recorder to come back and find the candy unwrapped. And when they reviewed for EVPs later, they heard a little girl say, "Thanks for the snacks."
Thanks for the snacks.
Which is actually really cute.
That's so cute.
She'll also remember those who have visited her before and will favor them with like the same kinds of things. So if you come in and play the flashlight game with her, she'll remember you for the flashlight game and then expect you to play that with her. That's her like more common way to communicate with you at that point.
That's so cute.
That's kind of sweet.
Except you have to get through the creeper.
Woo! That's always fun. Woo! So here's some more things just about the general building, because I wanted to sandwich, the specifics in between the generals for funs.
Okay.
Because I only have a couple of things with like a few specific things that investigation groups have picked up. So you can hear footsteps of someone running towards you on some of the different floors.
Okay.
You might not see someone running at you, but you'll hear it, which almost is worse to me, because if I can like see something like on the Civil War floor,
you can identify it.
Right. You're
get out of the way.
Right. But if you just hear something running at you,
where the
worse.
fuck is it?
Right. That's worse. I don't like that so much. In some of the rooms, you can smell very strongly vomit. You can see...
Gross.
Yeah. One of those shadow people moving quickly down the hallway until it reaches like a set of chairs. And then it'll crouch down behind the chairs.
Nope.
And then, like, peek at you around the corner of the chairs.
No.
To see if you're still there.
The fuck?
Yeah.
No.
So that's fun. There are groups of investigators that have seen shadows pacing in the hallways and like back and forth around and around in circles. And doing a spirit box session would hear no exit, which is sad. Shadow figures will lean out of the doorways, and then when you acknowledge that they're there, will disappear. So when you're like, what the fuck is that? They're gone.
Ooh, poof.
When there was, this one makes me really sad. There was a group who went into the room where Dean died and asked on, doing a spirit box session, how did you die? The spirit box picked up murder. Which it was
murder.
And then when they asked if he needed help crossing over, the spirit box responded with perhaps, which is so sad.
That's so sad. That poor guy.
And that is the terrifying story of the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
That's fucking terrifying.
It's a lot.
Is it bad that I do want to go to the fourth floor just to see that creeper?
Yeah, I think that's pretty bad.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
We'll do it, but...
We'll talk about it. It's in West Virginia, so it's not far from here.
No, I'm invested in anything you want to do. I'm down. Let's go.
It's just that me has to be able to fucking do it. Oh my God.
Yeah, so...
I think that one's hot enough that if we went there, we could potentially get something.
For sure.
That'd be super awesome.
That'd be something.
That'd be super dope-alicious.
No?
We'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the list.
We have a pretty long list. So
we have a massive long list. But
I'm adding to it every day.
You're adding to it. And then speaking of adding to the list, on our website, www.haunther.ibarelyknowher.com.
Yes.
We put on the Contact Us tab if you would like to drop a subject. Please do so. And lovely. If we like it, and if we talk about it, we'll give you a shout out. We'll be like, yo, this person.
Yeah.
This human.
This human.
Give us a topic. So that's up. That's so cool that's up there.
I'm actually really excited about it because it sends it to our email.
It does. It sends it to our email. We will see it, and then we'll be like, oh my God. And then we'll throw it on the list and put your name out next to it. Because there's a couple of friends that have suggested some. We put their names on it already.
Yeah. It makes it easier in the long run now that we have that sort of organization there.
It helps us help you, provide us topics to bring you entertainment.
Agreed.
And bring us fucking horror.
Yeah, if you just basically want to hear us tell you a story.
A bedtime
and, get
story.
Scared. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
It's not. One of my students was listening and he messaged me at 10 o'clock and was like, this is not a podcast I want to listen to. He was like, it's getting a little late for this podcast, is what he said.
Yeah, no, don't do it at night unless you're very, very brave.
Or you don't believe it.
Yeah.
And you find it funny. I don't know.
That too. I'd be down for that. Also, if any of you all, it's not just ghosty stuff. If you guys want us to talk about conspiracy theories or aliens or stuff like that.
Or a paranormal topic.
Yeah, some sort of paranormal thing. But those things.
Yeah, shoot, just whatever. Throw something out there. And if we bite, we'll do it.
Yeah. Can't confirm.
10 out of 10.
So
you can also follow us on our social medias.
Yes.
What's the handle?
HHIBKH podcast.
On Instagram or Twitter.
Yes.
We're posting stuff there. Fun stuff.
Yeah. Lots of fun stuff. Interacting things.
We're going to also start posting pictures of what we're talking about during the podcast. So.
Correct. So you'll get a picture probably of
the list.
Yeah.
We got to post the list.
Yeah. We definitely have to post the list because that's just wild. So that'll be fun.
Fun stuff. Okay. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in on episode 8.
Wow. It's 8 already.
8 already.
God, you're still here. I'm so proud.
Me?
Surprised. No, the listeners are still here. I'm kind of surprised.
This is still happening. Okay.
This is great.
Until next time.
Yeah. Stay spooky, nerds.
Her.
I barely know her. Whoops.
I'll try that again. Haunt her.
I barely know her.
Good job. 10 out of 10.
Bye.